are ready. The fighters are in the ring. And they are ready. So for the record-setting sold-out 90,000 fans here and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Paint the sky your favorite color.
What's up, fight fans? It's the Mighty Mean Joe Frazier. You are now tuned in to Fist Physics. Today's topic is going to be Miguel Cotto and what exactly is he doing? Because I'm really not sure. There really is no reason to even discuss the fight with Yamagai here, who I have here in the video clip. But there's been some interesting things going on with Miguel Cotto as of late. One, he's been very inactive for maybe about 6 months to a year, I'm going to say, off the top of my head. When he originally was trying to get this fight signed with Yamagai here, that's when the split with him and Rocnation began. And I'm assuming that Rocnation wanted to pull away from Miguel Cotto because they were not trying to be around for any irrelevant fights. And I feel like they're correct. At this point in Miguel Cotto's career, he should be taking on big names, big fights, big money. But you know what? This is if you're looking at it from the standpoint of a tune-up fight, it's a great fight. This guy Yamagai, his last fight was actually against Robert the Ghost Guerrero, I believe, where he lost. It was at 147 pounds. He's not even ranked at 154, but he's coming up to face Miguel Cotto for some vacant title that's available. Now, when this fight was made, and originally the date for the fight I was hearing was July 29th, but because Showtime just announced Mikey Garcia versus Adrian Broner on that same date, when I looked and checked again, I'm seeing that they're looking at August 26th for the Miguel Cotto return. And it's going to be at the StubHub Center out in California. Also, oddly enough, when this fight was made and Rocnation stepped away from Miguel Cotto, Oscar De La Hoya, Goldenboy Promotions stepped in. Apparently, they've come to some sort of inked agreement where these two companies, Miguel Cotto Productions and Goldenboy Promotions, are going to work together, not only in promoting Miguel Cotto's last couple of fights of his career, but also grooming the fighters that are under his promotional banner. Now, to me, in my opinion, this means that I'm going to see Miguel Cotto have maybe 1-2 tune-up fights, maybe 1-2 ranked opponents, and then he'll fight some Goldenboy champion and lose. That's what pretty much I'm thinking about right now. That pretty much seems to be the case once a fighter has pushed past his prime. And it's like these promotional companies will pay you just to put your name on their fighter's resume. Now, I'm not an insider. I can't say that that's for sure. That's 100% certainty because I'm not behind the scenes. But that's what it seems like when you follow the game and you follow the named fighters in situations that play out like this. So, I mean, I'm just curious about what Miguel's game plan is. You know, to me, in my opinion, Miguel's a future Hall of Famer. And I really feel like at 154, who are you going to fight? There are some real monstrous guys at 154. Not only that, but junior middleweight or super welterweight, which is the 154-pound division, you have guys who can make 154 but are much bigger than 154, and Miguel Cotto is a forced 154. I actually would prefer to see Miguel Cotto fighting at 147. I think he's a lot stronger at 147 against those sort of competitors. Why he is trying so hard to stay at 154 pounds. I have no idea. There are maybe at least 6 or 7 good fights out there for Miguel Cotto at 147 pounds. So why is he so insistent on staying at 154 when you got one of the Charlo brothers, you got Andrade, you got Erickson Lubin, who's a real tough competitor, and he's on his way up. He's hungry. You got Jared Swift. I can't remember the guy's last name. Jared Swift Hurd, who's campaigning at 154. You got some young, hungry lions at 154 pounds who really have no names yet. Okay, these names might be familiar with the hardcore boxing fan, but with the casual, they might not have picked up on these guys yet because they're not in the limelight. So why is Miguel Cotto steadily campaigning at this weight? I have no idea. These guys are so much bigger. I mean, Landy Lara is still at 154, even though I suspect pretty soon he's going to be moving up to 160. He technically right now, June 1st, is still ranked at 154 pounds. So the 154 pound division is actually really stacked, and I really don't see any of the Cotto going in and beating any of the top 5. I'm sorry. Even when Cotto came up to fight Sergio Martinez, it was a little shaky there. As far as me just being a fan of Miguel Cotto and following his career all of these years, man, I've been a fan of Cotto before the car accident down in PR. So if you're a real die-hard Cotto fan from early in his career, then you know how far back that goes. But I just don't get it, man. I mean, at 147, he could fight a Keith Thurman, a Danny Garcia. I think the Manny Pacquiao rematch would be off the table because, as far as I know, Miguel is still being trained by Freddie Roach. I mean, so that's off the table. But Errol Spence Jr., Kell Brook. I know that Cotto actually expressed interest in fighting Juan Manuel Marquez. And Juan Manuel Marquez probably has one, and I actually like the idea of that fight because you had 2 future Hall of Famers, both who have battled it out with guys like Pacquiao and Mayweather, and they're facing off in the golden years of their career. I would have picked Cotto because Marquez is a forced 147, and that fight was actually thrown around at a catch weight of 150 pounds, which I was comfortable with. And I felt like Marquez could make with no problem, and Cotto could make with no problem. I definitely would have been leaning towards Cotto in that fight. But for some reason, I don't know if it was Team Marquez or Team Cotto, but somebody dropped the ball on that one, and the whole fight just fell apart. And now he's still here, like I've been saying for the last few minutes. He's still campaigning at 154 pounds. So, fight fans, hit me up in the comments section. Let me know where you think Cotto's career is going to end up in the golden era of his career. Who exactly is a marquee name at 154 or 160 that you see Miguel Cotto being successful at? Or is he just giving his name up to De La Hoya in order to help groom the fighters that are on his promotional banner? Which is what I highly suspect. But let me know how you feel. Hit me in the comment section. Alright, the Mighty Mean Joe Frazier. 1.